Hi, this is Chrissy Incognito, and welcome to another episode of my channel. Now, you might be wondering why I'm incognito. This is my alter ego that can say things that I cannot otherwise say unless I was incognito. So, thank you for returning. In order to understand more about this episode, please view the previous episode. Happy listening. So, as I said, as we got closer, he got more distant. And here I'm thinking, did something wrong. I'm doing something wrong. He was fine. We were fine. Okay. We were slowly going down a road. And I did not feel like I kind of let him lead because I knew how skittish he was about whatever relationships, intimacy, whatever it is. So I never wanted to like come on strong. Especially I had my own issues. So, there was no reason to come on strong. Um, and then so we got close. Then as we got closer, he was moving away and I thought it was me. Um, and then I wrote him an email. Now we probably interacted totally in 7 months. So this might have been at like the 3 month mark, 4 month mark. I wrote him an email because in the back of my mind, I thought I need to shake this guy, right? This guy is not able to have any type of emotionally intimate relationship. Okay. So I was like, the best way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put it in a letter and I'm basically going to tell him that I didn't appreciate him. I don't want to say leading me on, and then the 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 word ghosting didn't and he wasn't ghosting, but he was getting more and more distant and I couldn't figure it out. And every time I tried to talk to him about it, it was like, "Oh, I'm busy." Yeah, but you've been busy this whole time. You aren't acting like weird like this. And I asked him, I said, if you have somebody who's there with you, just let me know. And he's like, no, he's like, I haven't had anybody, whatever in years because I've been so busy. And I kind of knew it was true because he was so protective of of somebody getting close. And that's what I mean by unavailable. He did not want anybody to get close to him and he did not want to get close to anybody. And so this was the best way that he could do this without fully committing. Okay. Because he would say, I'm all alone. He's like, I don't have any pets. I lost my friend. Like he had some friends, but he's like, majority of them, we all went our separate ways. I don't really talk to my mom. So he's like, yeah, I'm kind of all alone. And that today would have been a sign. I would have been like, "Why?" I mean, listen, I know medical school from Robert and then later from Lance is very grueling, and you get to see a side of it that you didn't know about, okay? Because you get to see the ins and out and daily things and the demands. But I'm like, "This is a you issue." Now I look at that and I say, "This is a you issue. This is a Lance issue. This is not you just happen to lose touch with people. This is how you designed your life because you cannot deal with any sort of emotional intimacy or vulnerability. Um, and if it is, it has to be only on his terms." Like he would talk to me about, they were changing shifts and it was time for him to go. And there was the family there and nobody was there and he stayed. He's like, I felt like I couldn't just walk out and leave them without an update of how the surgery went and blah 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 blah. So I'm not really going to get into what he did, but and so there was that there was that, like, unlike Robert, who was criticizing his patients for being stupid to, let the issue go so long, he's like, I knew when the next shift came in, he's like, they wouldn't know what to tell them. So he would tell me stuff like that. So I knew that he was not, he was somewhat there. Okay. But at this point, I felt that, I had just been through all of that down the yellow brick road with Robert. Like, where are we going? Oh, we went nowhere. Right. So now I'm saying to myself, okay, he's been acting a little weird for too long. I've tried to ask him, is work getting more? Is it more demanding? That or do you have a girlfriend? And this came up in appropriate conversation, right? As we were talking, an opportunity came up to mention this, and I brought it up. And basically, he was like, no, right? Now I'm like, well, just like with Robert, oh, sorry, like with Robert, whatever this is, you're keeping to yourself and you're not telling me. Honestly, I did not have the articulation at the time to be like, I'm going to call you on what is happening and listen to your response. Okay. Um, so I had my own issues. So I was like, okay, this is it. This is how I'm going to work it. I feel like if I talk to him, he's going to do this like roundabout thing that he's been doing, right? Nothing like, no, I haven't in years. I haven't, I haven't, had a girlfriend in a couple of years because it's gotten progressively more demanding. Now the same old stuff is happening at work, nothing out of the ordinary. So I'm trying to hit the nail on the head. And you got to remember, I don't even know how to bring it up because we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. And you have to remember that this whole internet, um, chat room thing was so new, okay? Um, so I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is called. I don't know. I'm just as confused as everybody else. And I just feel like I'm sort of getting the runaround. And I feel like with his defenses, not to be defensive, but because he so wants to shield himself from emotional protection, it felt like I was not going to get an answer. I knew he enjoyed my company. He went out of his way in times where he should have been sleeping or he should have been doing other things. And, you know, let me tell you, we would stay on the phone for hours. Hours. He would also bring me now it's different than now where it's like everybody's talking and walking and like zombies on the phone. It wasn't like that back then. He was taking me out, he was taking me shopping with him, he was including me. I remember he went to like a restaurant and he's sitting there telling me what's going on and we're talking about the restaurant. So this isn't somebody that was just willy-nilly passing it in the night. We talked again, at this point in my life, I'm still up all night because I'm studying. So the phone is ringing all night long. You know what I mean? People are calling me. My friends are calling me. The John episode called me in the middle of the night, which you have to go down and see the John episode, which is funny when I tell that story. People are like, "What?" I'm like, if I was not a part of it, I wouldn't have believed it. Okay, but let's get back to he was calling me all hours. I was calling him all hours. I was calling him at the hospital. He was calling me from the hospital. He was calling me from his apartment. He was calling me. He would take me shopping with him. All of this stuff. Changed our phone plans. You know it's serious when people change their phone plans for each other. Okay. So I don't know. So I'm like, you know what? Enough with the runaround. I am going to, in an email, tell you exactly what I've observed and how this is not working. So I compile an email. I probably have it somewhere on an old disk, okay? But from what I could remember, I was like, I thought we were getting kinda close, and within the last, few weeks, although we're still talking and we're still, um, coming together and spending time with each other, you seem to be distant. And I just went on from there and saying like, if something is bothering you, I wish you would share it with me, or if you're not interested in this, I wish you would tell me. And I guess the tone of the email came out very accusatory. Like, I think the tone from what I remember was, you led me on, and then you kind of just, I don't wanna say emotionally dropped me, but then all of a sudden, it's like you emotionally disappeared, and if you just didn't wanna be involved with me, just either ignore me or tell me or something. Don't continue to, like, kinda get me in. Um